Hello, everybody. Oh, it is good to be back. Thank you for, as always, thank you to those of you guys who are joining us live. Um, I was out because I got sick over the weekend last week, so we had to jump ship on game, but I'm 90%, so back at it again at Krispy Kreme. So yeah, it's good to see everybody again. We are unfortunately missing one player. Their life stuff came up, so they will be joining us again next week. But they will be unable to make it to game this week. Our lovely Riss. Um, Work hard, get your stuff done, and enjoy yourself. And we'll see you next time. But everyone else who is here, thank you so much for coming to play with me. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, we, as I always say, we also, whether you're joining us live, Tuesdays, RPGstorytelling.com, Twitch, YouTube, and I almost said Beam. Wow, Twitch, YouTube, and Moonbeam.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our live channels over there. And if you aren't able to make it Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on one of those platforms, you can always check out the VODs on YouTube. Available pretty quick right after we stream, so within several hours usually at most. I see those up there, so go check them out. It's nice to go get a refresh and
Mm-hmm.
recap.
Oh
If
shit,
you ever
speaking
need
of,
any, what?
sorry, I forgot to roll early 20s.
Oh yeah. Oh, I also forgot about that. You ever need any links? Anyone out there need a link? RPGstorytelling.com got everything we need. So they also got merch. Go check out our merch. But I think Sarah, are there any other announcements coming down the pipeline?
Let's see, we've got Myths of Gaia this Saturday, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific. This will be our session 7. So we're looking forward to that. I know, we're really moving along. Let's see, we're getting our artwork finally started. Dusty's got the information and he's getting started working on them. So hopefully we should have some of those pretty soon too. And that's pretty much all I've got so far.
Wonderful. That's so cool. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the art for everyone's characters. Keep your eyes open for that. Everybody watching, that'll be tons of fun. Tons and tons of fun. So, without further ado, I think it's time to slip and slide back into the mists, back into Barovia. Let me. There we are. Back into Barovia, the land with no sun, and whose skies are always overcast with the thick clouds of the mists. As it is now, so has it been for decades, centuries passing as has each before it. The people here are born, they live, struggling against their oppressors in this dreadful domain, and they die. Some are even unlucky enough to find they live through another turn of the cycle, when the mists and the shadowy creatures that inhabit them deem it time to wake the Count from his slumber and to capture souls from beyond their borders, entertaining and perhaps torturing the denizens here. And this is where our story continues. Storytime rolls, everybody. How'd it go? How'd it look?
I got an 8.
18.
So last
Wow.
week on game and Trapped in the Mess,
Oh shit.
Ooh. Ivor, you roll a 1? Ivor, you roll a 1?
No, 12.
Hey, Gawain, what's
Even better.
happened?
okay. So
That is not what happened. That was something I wrote down.
we started out the last session in the woods directly by the druid's trees, like as far as we could get in that time. We dug in, quite literally, digging foxholes just so that we could get some rest in something of a safe, defensible manner. We had all of our brand new items identified. Nedro communed with the Sun Sword during his watch, having a conversation. Gawain attempted to have a more of a not a communion, because he wasn't trying to talk to her. He was just trying to say thank you. So it was more of a prayer session. When Ivor and Cesar were doing their watch, he was doing some repairs, and the DM decided to break all of our hearts by playing a recording from Ivor's dead wife.
One of my finer moments.
We started traveling through the woods. We eventually come across a druid body exsanguinated up in the trees. We take it down, cremate it, move on. We find another, and another, and another, until we finally exit the forest, not knowing if this was a perfectly straight line we were following or just a scatter plot that we just happened to come across. We traveled 4 hours back to Vallaki. Eventually getting into the city, we go straight to the Blue Water Inn, where Gawain went to check on if he had any mail from Lady Wachter regarding their new unidentified patron. I sent a reply with one of Danica's children going and delivering the letter. While that was going on, we went to the library so that Risk could try to get their hands on a Dispel Magic spell scroll, which we were unable to do. We went, and it was extremely awkward, which was hilarious. We went and had our meeting with Lady Wachter and met our new patron, Thor Vickers, a slightly rotund man with a goatee and dark short hair. He was very well dressed. He talked he had a very silver tongue, but it also was like very obvious that he was trying too hard, pushing way too fast, and just trying to like earn a lot of goodwill very quickly. But he did happen to be very useful, as he retrieved the rock meat, disseminated it, got all of the stock going so nothing went to waste, got us 3 diamonds worth 300 gold piece each, because Gawain now has the capabilities to resurrect the recently dead. We also got 100 gold worth of diamond dust given to Nedro for greater restoration, I believe.
Correct.
We picked up a small stipend from him so that we could make preparations, resummon the mounts, make some potions, do all the things. As we left, we're still a little unsure what happened, but Cesar rolled a natural 20 on his perception check, and a small elderly woman with thick glasses was staring us down at more than the usual holy shit, what are those staring down, which only lasts for a couple seconds normally. And by the time we could get to her, she was gone, retreating through, I think, into a cafe and disappearing into it. After that, we went. Gawain checked in on Alice, who was in the zone, uh, and she eventually got Gawain out of there with a couple of the sets of cold weather clothing. We went back to go for a long rest, I believe, and we had started some potions, some crafting of spell scrolls. I think that was what most everyone was doing. Except for Riss, who was going to decode the book. But I believe that is where we pick back up.
Yeah, that's a great recap. In the night, come next morning, you are not slurped into the Tome of Strahd as you would expect, given how it works, right? 4 hours decoding, and then everyone immediately goes in, spends an hour of real time in the book, and goes through whatever that story is that they want to cover. And you awake, and you're not sure what's going on, because you're not in the book, right? You're regular... assuming you guys stayed together either at the Blue Water Inn or at Riss's apartment, which is, as they've said, always at your disposal. You're where you fell asleep. This tome has more like pomp and circumstance, right? It's surely you're not in it now. And as you guys sort of start your day and get up and start moving, everyone reach out to the other members of the party. Everyone has the same experience. It's not long before you find a scrawled note from Riss that says something to the effect of, "Hey, sorry, couldn't do the tome. Ludmilla, urgent business. Be back as soon as I can." And they've either made their way off to find Ludmilla, or Ludmilla has come to pick them up and go off and take care of business somewhere else, as they have been in contact and attempting to do many things together. So that leaves you with an unexpected moment of, okay, so wait. Maybe we stick in a holding pattern. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we take care of some business here. Stay busy, but don't start anything new, since Riss will be coming back shortly, presumably. So, we shall move forward with the Tales of Bossing Say vignettes style of stuff tonight. Everyone roll a d20. We'll see who goes first, or if you guys want to, if somebody has something that they want to do right away, then you guys want to divvy it up among yourselves, that's also fine too.
I'm fine with either style, but I did roll a 12.
11.
18.
4.
All right. So, as you guys reconvene together, the three of you, it is not long before Ivor. Has this happened before to you? Have you been called to assist in the past, or is this your first time?
My first go around.
This
My
is
turn
your
now.
first go.
Technically,
First turn?
didn't he disappear the one time that Richard wasn't able to play?
Possibly. I don't remember.
I was. You did say I was.
Okay. So still very new to you. Still catches you by surprise. It's definitely a little. Ooh, did breakfast disagree with me? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, let me sit down before something happens. And the darkness sort of like eating at the corner of your vision, you sort of feel yourself just sort of like rotating and like just sort of like spinning and disappear. To Gawain and Ned, Ivor just almost like begins to slump over, and in a puff of smoke, exactly like when Echo is dismissed or disapparated, Ivor just sort of disappears.
Everyone I love disappears.
Ivor, I need you to roll me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 d6. Roll a six,
Immediately
I dare you.
teleport into a mountain.
I'm crushed. Chapter X. I got a 1.
You got a 1. Okay. Okay.
Oh no.
I don't like that at all.
1.
Why
So
would you say it that way?
you apparate, and you're next to, oh goodness, the apocalypse version of Ivor. He has his mask up on his head. He has an eye patch over his eye that has a glowing arcane symbol of like an all-seeing eye on it. It's almost like an eye patch meets half of a set of goggles that's just sort of like cobbled on there, and there's some sort of Arcanotech eye mech going on. He has a modified version of Bad News that is less distance and more crowd control. It looks like it's a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to maintain, a little bit easier to handle. But obviously with like the shortened barrel and all of the other bits that are compacted, maybe it doesn't have quite the range that your Bad News does. Cesar is there. And Cesar has large portions of himself that are covered by plating. But there's also exposed almost like Terminator skeleton bits where he's stripped down to his bare his bare basics, his metallic skeleton. And his eyes are one is gold and one is crimson. And he has a mean face. Have you ever seen those Jeeps that have the mean looking faces? It's Cesar is a mean looking robot. And so is Ivor. Ivor is a mean looking guy. You take him in and you realize he also has many other prosthetics. This Ivor has had to cobble himself together again and again. And he looks at you. All right, they're coming. Take a position.
Very well.
You are in it's like a safe house. And it's not nice, but it's not like just ramshackle. Ivor, the apocalypse Ivor, pulls out like several little like small devices and starts like planting them and arming them, You feel yourself, you know that you are an echo of your mind right now and that you are in no actual danger, but you feel just incredibly a shadow of yourself There, you're in black and white. You are in you're black and white, and you only have 1 hit point. And your AC is just a flat 16. So nothing special, although you do have your weapon, we'll say. So your weapon will function the same way that you, the player, are familiar. Ivor, we'll just call him Prime, sort of, or Eye Patch, looks over at you instead of Ivor, Eye Patch. Looks over at you and eyes your piece, and he says, "Huh. So you're more of a backlines kind of echo, aren't you?"
It seems so.
And it, like, the beep 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 beep. He's like arming things all around. I suppose do whatever works for you. We all have our own experiences and different stuff that needs to go on. You got a Cesar?
Back at home.
And he lays something across the on one side of the doorway, pulls it across, and like an arcane web and an arcane field, like a matrix, just sort of like expands and then fades from view as he embeds it on the other side of the door frame. How old is he? How many times have you had to rebuild him?
I've lost count at this point. I'm sure you can say the same about your Cesar.
Yeah. I just like to think that one day I'll find one who cared about it enough to keep track. See how often we have to save our boy.
Well, if I'm the first one, I feel sorry for you. Yeah. If I can help, I'm also good at technology. I'm sure we all are.
Of course we all are. We're all the same.
In one way or another. I see you've been through a rougher time than I, though.
It sort of appears that way, doesn't it? Not all bad, though, and he taps his goggles and he sort of like moves what is now a very clearly Arcana Tech hand. Doesn't hurt. It's easier to keep than your flesh and blood. Maybe one day I'll make myself a Cesar and put myself in it.
Like father, like son.
Like father, like son. You hear some shouts from outside, as it, let me get some music to actually reflect the situation we got here. And you hear a couple of shouts, you hear some movement, and suddenly there's a detonation. Sarah, give us a quick thumbnail sketch of your of the character that you created for this little vignette.
Okay. So Sora is bronze dragonborn, stands about 6'3", solid muscle. She carries a great sword, chainmail armor, and you can almost see a little bit of eldritch power kind of just glowing within her.
Nice. Okay. Gawain, who is your character that you brought to this little vignette?
So Aphelion is a crystalline construct. Uh, he is a when he got. Are we from this reality, or are we from a, or did we also get pulled?
No, you are from this reality.
So this is like an alt version where in an alternate reality he's a cleric of the Moonweaver. Um, in this reality he is a little more rough and tumble. He's kind of built like I can't remember
Again, I keep
Diamondback
forgetting the
from
yes.
Ben 10.
Hmm.
That's kind of how he's built. Um, but he is just a big dude. He is the clunkiest motherfucker you will ever meet. Uh, the fact that he has survived the apocalypse this long with disadvantage and a -2 on stealth is wild. But he is just overly optimistic all the time, even though he's in the middle of a fucking apocalypse.
Okay. Okay. And Ned, who is your character?
My character's name is Stevian.
Oh,
He
yes.
is a gnome standing about 2.5 feet tall. A forest gnome specifically, so the apocalypse doesn't agree with him. He, in celebration, or I suppose remembrance of the nature that's probably been destroyed and lost in this, he wears a crown of leaves. Otherwise, breastplates, and he is incredibly old, about 400. And he's accompanied by a medium-sized bear with magical glyphs shrouding its body. Despite his age, as he enters, he very swiftly jumps on top of the bear and starts riding him.
All right. So you guys, we'll cut to you for a second because this will be fun. You guys are approaching a small compound. It's built up, fortified, definitely some place that someone would have like dug themselves in and entrenched themselves to prepare for an assault. There's the remnants of what once were like tall fortifications that are sort of like half ripped down, still like 10-ish, 12-ish feet. So they still provide some sort of protection, but it's not, it's clearly not what it was. You guys have been tracking an individual. He has, the apocalypse is not a great spot in general, and it has given rise to a number of individuals who wanted to who have a very opportunistic bend and have taken this moment to be to further their own ends, possibly without organizations and governments and things like that getting in the way. So you've been tracking one of these individuals that's largely, there's various detriments that have happened to bands of survivors. They are, oh my gosh, they're so crafty. They are devious. They are almost impossible to pin down. They are incredibly self-sufficient and have proven extremely difficult to track. And yet you finally managed to catch them holed up here. As you guys breach and sort of make your way over these hastily fortified embankments and begin rushing across the sort of almost like open space between the wall and this small structure, there are a few different, there's a couple of little things that just pop up and as you guys find yourselves caught in a minefield. I need everyone. I need the three of you guys to give me dexterity saving throws.
Oh, I'm actually good at these.
Um,
Oh wait, no, I'm not. Shit.
wait, dexterity saving throws?
Yes, please.
Wait, make 3 dexterity saving throws?
No, the Sora, Aphelion, and Stevian. You can do it for your bear. Can make a
Nope,
dex
it doesn't
save.
matter. Nat 20 for me.
21 for me.
Nice. 21, also success.
15.
15. 15's not going to quite do it.
I rolled a 17.
-2, buddy. All right. It is going to be 10 points of, we'll say, fire and bludgeoning to Sora and Stevian, as well as the bear.
You said that was
Oh,
10.
my
well-
dear.
No, I'm sorry. 5 points to you three.
How about my bear? Does my bear have to make a saving throw? Because I did.
Actually, yeah. Go ahead and make a save for the bear.
I should have said nothing.
DM.
Yes.
Aphelion definitely would have burned a 4th level spell slot, not on himself, but a death ward on this universe's, this reality's Ivor.
This reality's Ivor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it in that
You
one.
don't know Ivor in this existence. It's
Aphelion
just the
doesn't?
three of you. Aphelion, Sora, and Stevian. It's just the three of you guys.
Yeah, the eye patch.
Oh,
Ivor.
I thought you were saying we were accompanying Eye Patch.
No. Just Eye Patch is on his own right now, and the three of you
Understood.
guys are together. Oh no.
My bear failed, got a nat 1, so I took the 10 damage for him.
Okay. Yes. 10
And
to the
5
bear.
damage from us. Yeah.
Yes. 10 to the bear. 10 to Aphelion, and 5 to Sora and Stevian. As you hit a mine, or as you each hit a mine, and it just sort of rocks you. You push onward, dodging and sort of picking your way through until you find your way to the structure, and poof, you sort of hit the wall and like flat plaster yourselves up against it, keeping down from around the windows. As inside, Ivor, you lock eye with Eye Patch, and he says, "Well, they're here. Set yourself up." And
Very
he
well.
sort of like he sort of settles in with his weapon, and he sort of racks it a little bit, and says, "I hope they're ready for some bad news." As he commands you to set up in the other side, and you'll hit him with a crossfire at the breach point, or at the entry point here. And Cesar just sort of lumbers into right in front of the doorway, and just he has that like mechanical like warbling over just like regular breaths, and all he's doing is breathing, and it's just terrifying. As let's see, Sora, Aphelion, and Stevian,
Wait, are we fighting them or are we joining them? Right?
you I will pull back the DM curtain a little bit. Ivor rolled villain. So he's been summoned by a villainous Ivor. I was going to try to make a whole evil party real quick, but then I was like, you guys are making good guys, so we'll flip the script just ever so slightly.
I could be an evil man with a bear. Okay, but fine.
But yes, so Eye Patch has been pursuing some end, and hasn't been super concerned with who is collateral damage and who is caught in the way. So as you guys continue to breach, you push in, there's a doorway. Yeah, you guys made it through the minefield, and from the other side of the wall, on the other side, the inside of the wall, there sort of rise up little turrets, and they start just firing little blasts at each of you. We're gonna do at Sora. That is a 14 to hit.
Miss.
We'll do another one. That's going to be an 11 to hit. And the last one is going to be natural 19 plus 8, we'll say. So 27. So that one will hit.
Yeah, shield with that one.
That'll do 8 points of force damage.
Okay.
As it clips you and just sort of like... and it almost like evaporates a little bit of your flesh. Felion. That's a 16 to hit.
Miss.
18 to hit.
Miss.
Oh, geez. And a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do.
For 9 points of... Not right, exactly. 9 points of force damage, as V, and this last one just sort of it catches you a little bit more center mass than it did Sora and Stevian.
That is going for me specifically, or for my bear.
We'll start with you. With a natural 20.
Miss.
Oh boy! All right.
What's the damage type of this?
What's that?
What's the damage type of this?
Force.
Okay, I can't do shit about that.
So that is going to be 19 points of force damage as it hits you square in your core and just it eats away at your armor. It eats away at your clothing.
My core!
And your flesh. My core.
Marlon Bago.
Second one at you is a 25 to hit.
Stop.
That one is 8 points of force damage. And against your bear is a natural 1.
Well, that's a miss at least.
That's a miss at least. As several of these pop up and are like sort of just gunning at you as you have made it through the minefield, but are almost pinned down against the outside of this building. There are windows, there are doorways visible. What are you guys doing together? Is it like, or how are you? What's the plan? What are you guys doing?
I have 2 questions before that.
Mm-hmm.
Are our characters, like, wherever we're going, or do we know we're gonna fight something or someone? Like, are we in pursuit of Eye Patch, or?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
You were in pursuit of Eye Patch.
Do we know we're close to him? Like, do we know
Yes.
this is his abode? Okay. Then I need 2 things to be doing. I switched to a quarterstaff rather than the strategy I told you of fighting.
Okay.
Before we do anything, I am going to cast Summon Fae and summon a Fae by me. And also, regardless of what we're doing, I'm going to consistently be casting every turn a bonus action Shillelagh, so that when we're in the fight, my Shillelagh is already cast. And I am summoning specifically a Fuming Fae. I'll show you the stat block someday.
If possible, Aphelion is going to, as the shots start coming in, he's going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
Lasts for 10 minutes.
Spirit Guardians, and that is a action or bonus?
Action.
Action. Okay. Doof, doof. Sora, anything that you're doing?
Just acting as the tank.
Get behind me.
Actually, yeah, we know we're in pursuit of this dude. Could I have death warded my companions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Both of you have a death ward.
Cool.
How does that work again?
If you would go to 0, you go to 1 instead.
Got it. Okay.
And it protects you
Um,
from spells like Power Word Kill, which I just recently found out because I've been reading it wrong for years. Yeah, it protects from Power Word Kill.
Interesting. Okay.
cool. Other than that, can you tell us what everything else around this looks like so we can decide on what we're doing aside from preparing for battle?
Well, you guys are in battle, right? You are being actively attacked by a couple of turrets that have popped up. As you've made it behind the wall up to this small dwelling, there's probably no more than three or four rooms in this place. And yeah, you're currently. They're attempting to pin these things are attempting to pin you down.
So wait, what are they?
They're like small little turrets. They don't move. They're stationary, but they've sort of popped up and are poof, poof, firing like
How
blasts
far are they
of
from us?
energy. Solid 30 feet.
Oh, so we can reach them.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
true.
are on
Oh,
the
yeah,
ground.
that's true.
Oh shit! Does that mean that the turn I spent casting that counts as my turn for this fight?
Um, I gave them a thing, and then you guys are getting just sort of like a round of reaction, and then if you guys are still outside again, they'll get another pass.
All right. Well,
Um,
because that already took my action and bonus action, so other than moving, I can't do much.
Okay, that's fine.
Question. It's the apocalypse. Would it be an accurate assumption to say it's probably dim, light, or dark?
Right now it's pretty bright. It's during the day.
Oh, okay.
But actually, hold on, my Fae can attack. It doesn't take a bonus action; it takes its turn right after me. So I am, and you said it's within 30 feet.
Yes.
All right, so it's going to fly 30 feet to the nearest one and use its Feyblade attack, which uses my spell attack modifier to deal 2d6 plus 3, plus a spell's level and force damage, which is just an additional 3. So does an 18 hit this thingy?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it'll deal this damage plus 3. Hold on. A 9 plus 3, 12 damage.
Just scatters it into components on the ground. It is and just shatters. So and there are now 8 turrets.
Okay.
If only I can get a stat block for this thing. All right. All right. We'll see what happens from here. If I didn't think this through, and I summoned this too early. Oh well.
All right, Sora. Is there any action that you specifically would like to do? If you can try to give some of your teammates cover by standing in front of them, if you would like.
I may be beefy, but I'm not quite that beefy.
Maybe not.
But
Actually, sorry. One more thing. My character does have the musician trait, so during short rest, he could have given everybody 10 hit points. I didn't know that. Could we have said we had done that before?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, then everybody gets 13 temp hit points, which could have probably taken the damage we took before.
okay.
That's fine. It'll eat damage at some point. So,
Including my bear, by the way.
including your bear. That's right.
If possible, I would like to see if I can run up to one of these turrets and do a little
Yes.
smack smack.
Of course.
My great sword. So 2 strikes. First one. Come on. Is a 15 to hit.
15 is going to miss. They're small and they're sturdy, and you come down at just ever so slightly the wrong angle, and it glances off, shattering just a little bit of the casing. 24 is going to hit, though, as you just swing back around and just shatter it and just smash it. We're now down to 7. All right. So, that... Go ahead.
I have a question, DM. I still have
Yes.
movement left. What was I? Could I like basically with my spirit guardians run at one of these turrets to try to like hit it with the spirit guardians?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I will do so. That's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. It's not. This isn't a creature. It's an object. So I'm going to say it will automatically fail. So just go ahead and roll your damage, and it'll just take the damage.
Okay. So, third level spell. It's 3d8 damage. $19 points of radiant.
Ooh, as you just sort of rush in, and it just what does your spirit guardian look like?
Again, he is overwhelmingly like too positive for the fucking apocalypse and should not have survived. All of his spirit guardians are all the people he's ever like helped, even just a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Like
and go ahead.
I would say like it hasn't done a whole lot in the long run, but he's doing what he can.
That's great. We love it. You move in, and your spirit guardians, these people, they just sort of are floating around, and just their very presence, it just illuminates, and these turrets, this turret starts to smoke and spark and just sort of like collapse into a puddle of slag as it just melts under the sheer force of brilliance and wonderment. We're down to 6. All right. So, back up. We got 2 coming at Sora. 13, which misses?
Misses.
I assume?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And 11, which misses. Against Aphelion, that is a 23.
That'll hit.
Hits. 6 points of force damage. And 17.
Miss.
Miss. And then against Stevian,
Another nat 20, huh?
24. For
Why do you continue to hit me?
4 points of force damage. And your bear, natural 2 for a total of 10, which will miss.
Correct.
Okay. Veet. Yeah. You guys are able to, we'll say, between the Fae and the bear and the other 2 party members, or the Fae and the bear, and then the other 3, the 3 of you guys, you're able to take care of the other 6 of these. They're not super hardy. They only have 10 hit points apiece. They're little jury rig things, definitely. As you finish out just scattering these, just a spray of bullets just out from the structure where you guys were. And I need to get some D12s is what I need to do.
Oh, snap.
I didn't get them out. I need, let's see. Everyone, I need the 3 of you guys to give me dexterity saving throws.
Are you sure you don't want a wisdom saving throw instead?
I am very sure.
Does my bear and fairy need to make these throws too?
Yes, as long as as long as the Fae is a corporeal thing that can be attacked, which I believe it
Okay.
is. It has a stat block and everything.
22 for Steven.
18 for Sora.
22 will
9.
succeed. 18 will succeed. 9 will fail.
25 for the bear.
Will succeed.
And hold on for my furry. The fairy got a 6.
6 is a fail. Okay, so Aphelion and Fairy, you both take 31 points of piercing damage.
My fairy's dead.
31.
31
Jeez.
as Sora, Stevian, and the bear take 15 points of piercing damage.
This is a real villain, guys.
Seriously.
Eye Patch has made some upgrades to Bad News. And he's going to, let's see, Ivor, he commands you to sort of step up and take a shot as you feel compelled to, you approach and you get an angle on the window. What does Ivor see when he looks out? How does everyone look? What just happened in the aftermath of this just sort of like mow down?
My fairy poofs in a shower of glitter and rainbows, and it spells out homophobe. And then and then a very old gnome on a bear who looks not quite but nearly bloodied, and a bear doesn't look all that happy either.
Gnome looks a little just a little rocked. The bear doesn't look like he's pleased. Sora?
Sora feels the little pricks of the bullets and gets angry. But otherwise,
Oh,
she's
boy.
looking fine.
Okay. And Aphelion.
Let's see. Aphelion's not looking terrible. He's not like falling apart, but you can definitely see lots of cracks in the crystal right now.
Oh,
Like
boy.
just spider webs kind of starting to spread.
Yeah, so unleash
and-
in... Go ahead.
Sorry, I owe you a concentration check.
Oh, you do. Yes, you do. DC 15.
And I believe, let me double check. Yes, I have Warcaster. That is a dirty 20.
All right, so you maintain Spirit Guardians. Ivor, you unleash Incarnation. Now, we'll say he is able to sort of like poke his nose just up out of a different window and see the field as well. But I'll let you pick, and we'll just say this is what Eye Patch is telling you to do. Where are you firing?
I'm gonna just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
Okay.
and just roll a d6.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. D4. So
There's only
I
4
see this-
targets, though,
yeah.
by the way.
no,
Yeah.
I was going with just I wasn't counting the bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
And it landed on this strange crystalline creature.
All right. Go ahead and make a bad news blast.
Are you sharpshootering or no? Can
No
you
sharpshooter.
sharpshooter in this? No sharpshooter.
No, this will
No.
just do regular shots.
Yeah, just
In
regular
theory,
shots.
you would have his worst news. But for ease of simplicity, we'll have you just run with the.
No, very lucky. Oh, no, camera doesn't like my phone. I rolled on that one.
Nat 1. Oh boy. You just fire wide. You hear Eye Patch swear, and he says, "Get yourself together." Action surge.
That misfires his gun.
Does that work for the echo?
Yes.
Would it work for the? It would work for the echo.
Did
He's
he-
going to
did he-
use his what? How does this work? A reaction to try to clear it?
Yes.
It's not a reaction to try to clear it. It's a full action.
It's a full action.
You have
Mhm.
yeah. You have to be a very specific gunslinger to be able to undo it as a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Your gun jams, and it's just the Eye Patch rolls his eyes. I don't have time for this. And he sort of looks over. Cesar just comes over and just backhands you out of existence.
God damn!
And you poof back into the apartment for a second. You're on the ground with Gawain and Ned over top of you. Like, what's going on? Where'd you come from? Are you okay? What's happening?
How much time has passed for us?
Just a couple of seconds. He just disappeared like 10 seconds ago.
Where the hell did you go?
Wow. That Caesar is very different. Ugh. Okay.
As you sort of begin to sit yourself up, your vision starts to fade again as he's bonus action resummoning you just to clean wipe reset the gun. As
I go to sit back down, I go to sit back down as I'm about to. Yep.
Yep. You disappear, and you find yourself back in the same spot, and he's like, "Get yourself together." As he has his gun out, and he takes a couple of shots. We're gonna do with his action surge, he's going to use another Unleash Incarnation with action surge to have you go again. So go ahead and make another roll. We'll just have you roll against the Gawain again. Not
Okay.
Gawain. We'll have you roll against the Felion again. And he's going to roll against Sora and Stevian with his 2 attacks. So we'll say Sora's red. Excuse me. Sora, 16 to hit?
Hits.
Hits. And Stevian, that would be a 25.
Can you roll below 20 on me for once?
I don't think so.
Nope, just your bear.
But just the bear. Both of you guys will take 7, 8, 13 points of piercing damage. And Gawain, did you hear? You had your headset on, so you heard the whole. I don't have time for this. Caesar backhands him back to you for a second, and then
I was listening.
yes, bonus actions and back. Give me another. So go ahead, Ivor. Give me one more attack against Aphelion.
Does a 24 hit?
Yeah.
15 points of damage.
All right. Need another con save. This
Yes.
one's DC 10. Yeah, I make it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So that's back to you guys. We'll start with, we'll just start with Sora, since you're first up on my my list here of who I wrote down.
Okay.
Stuff is coming from the inside of this building. A bunch of bullets and then a couple of targeted shots.
Okay. Am I close enough to get to them?
Yes. You would move 30 feet to the other side of the minefield. Give me a dexterity save. Actually, I forgot about it. So as you're moving back, give me another dexterity save.
14.
14. You hit another mine. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of... What did I say it was?
Force.
Force for these. That makes sense. 11 points of force damage, but you are able to make it 30 feet all the way back to the main structure of this building.
Okay. Let's see. Where is it? So bonus action, I'm gonna second wind, get a little bit of that healing back. So I'll take 19 back.
Nice, good roll.
And then, am I close enough to actually hit them with sword or spell?
You make it to the outside of this inner, this building on the inside. Whatever is going on is happening on the inside of the building, so you'd have to breach the structure.
Okay. Let's see. Am I possibly within 60 feet of them?
Possibly. This structure doesn't seem very large, and they're definitely inside, so it's a good chance that they're within 60 feet, yes.
Okay. So, and I'm guessing I kind of saw where the shots were coming from, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, more or less.
So I'll kind of lean around the corner or whatever I've got to do, and I'll throw a shatter at them.
Ooh, okay. What is the, how big is a shatter?
Each creature in a 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius, okay.
Yep, it's a sphere.
You give me a perception check to see how well you can place this on the fly. How good of an angle you can get in this as you throw this magical flashbang.
Okay, give me seconds. Come on, do the thing right. Wrong one. Perception. That is a 12.
12, okay. You can get Eye Patch and Cesar, or Ivor and Cesar. But you can only get 2 of the 3.
I'm gonna go Eye Patch.
Eye Patch and Cesar. Okay, cool. Throw that in. Sort of like the point, the closest point is almost like a little bit up on the wall. Just. And what kind of save is that?
It's a Constitution saving throw. DC 15.
Constitution. DC what?
15.
15. All right. That's a fail for Eye Patch. And Cesar. Constitution is a 15 exactly.
Ooh. So that's 9 points for the for Eye Patch.
Okay. Is there half damage on a success?
That's what I was just looking at. I don't think there are. Yes, half damage on a success.
Okay. And for shatter, is there anything strange with a construct? Since Caesar is considered a construct.
You should have
The-
disadvantage.
Yep, a construct has disadvantage on the save.
All right, that one's higher, so he still succeeds. Excellent. Okay. So, movement, action. Any bonus?
Bonus action was second wind.
Bonus action was second wind. That's right. Cool.
Let's see, and then do I have it? Where is it? And then action surge
Ooh, nice. Okay.
gives me a whole nother action. Do I have anything that'll actually reach them other than another shatter? No, I do not. So, never mind on that.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Aphelion. Sora has just rushed back across, gets hit with another mine, and throws a little bit of magic in, and its own detonation hits, and there's some like from inside.
Okay. You really changed a little bit, but it might be okay. How far away is Sora?
30 feet.
Perfect. And Stevian and the bear are also within 30.
They're, yes, within 30. They're a little bit closer since they're on your side of the minefield.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Exactly what I would like. I'm going to do a third level mass healing word as a bonus action.
Ooh.
I like.
So that'll be, this is my first time using your new the D4s you gave me.
Ooh.
That is 10 points of healing to Sora, Stevie, and myself and the bear.
Perfect.
Take it.
And then, as an action, those spirits that are making up the spirit guardians condense a little bit more and then spread out. And instead of becoming more and more spread out, they actually just expand into more people. And I'm going to action Twilight Sanctuary. It's a 30-foot emanation from me. It moves with me, lasts for 1 minute. And whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of the following: 1d6 plus 9 temporary hit points, or one effect on it, causing it to be charmed or frightened.
Nice.
So that'll mean everyone. That means everyone within 30 feet of me gets. Do you want to roll that once per turn, or do you want me to roll that each individual time for each individual person?
Each time for each person, since you choose the effect back and forth.
Cool.
But it's when we end our turn there, so I have to end my turn within 30 feet of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But if I need to, I will position so that I'm trying to just get the most coverage, basically, between the two parts of the party.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's...
So I'm going to leave
all I
it
got.
Sounds good. Stevian.
Remind me how far... Am I able to see eye patch from here?
Give me a perception check. See if you got the right angle.
Is this a free perception check, or...
Mm-hmm.
Nat 20 from 32.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, you can. He just sort of poked his head up to take a couple of pop shots, and he has you see just a very small bit of him, and he just
a window?
Yes, through like a window area, like a shattered empty window frame. Let's be very clear.
How far is this from us?
He is probably, let's see, Sora's exactly 30 feet, and she's up against the outside of the house, so he's 40 feet away from you.
Excellent. All right. So, due to exceptional training, which they get at level 7, as part of the same bonus action that I can use to attack, I can also command my beast to use its bonus action to do rogue shit like disengage or dash. So, I am going to dash in a straight line. So the bear's 40 feet becomes 80. Want to dash in a straight line towards that window, jump it so I can be inside, and have my bear pounce at Eye Patch.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me, as you cross the minefield, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw for you and the bear.
For both of us, okay. Gross. I got a 13. And gross, my bear got a 12.
All right. Both of you take 16 points of force damage as this goes off and rocks you, but you're able to make it.
Okay. So for the pounce, because also my bear moved 20 feet while doing it, more than 20 feet. If the beast moved at least 20 feet straight forward, the target before the hit, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the same type, and the target has a prone condition if it is large or smaller. So I can also make the hits force damage. So the 1d6 will also be force damage.
Okay.
So then this will be my bear's attack on Eye Patch, or the 2 hits anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 24 hit?
What was that?
There's a 24 hit?
24 will hit.
So this will be the 1d8 plus 6. 12 damage plus the extra 1d6, which I'm going to roll right now. That's an additional 3 damage, all force.
All force. Okay.
And then I haven't used my attack yet. That was my bonus action to get my bear to do all that. So it's going to be 2 shillelagh attacks.
And this guy is prone?
He is prone, so they're at advantage.
Just happens. That's wonderful.
So the first one is a 25 to hit.
Hits.
My shillelagh damage, also I have the dueling, so it's a +2. So it's 1d10 plus 6 of radiant damage, because that's what shillelagh does now, I think.
Nice. Okay.
Right? Shillelagh is radiant now?
No, it's True Strike.
Yeah, it's force. You're correct. So the first hit deals 13 damage.
Gross.
Second hit at advantage as well, because he's still flat as fuck, my son.
Yes, he is.
It'll be 11 damage.
Caesar's going to use his reaction to impose gosh.
Well,
no, I already said it hit. So that's the end of that. Okay, that's fine. It's for, you said 11 damage?
11 damage, yeah.
Okay. 40.
And as I'm hitting it, you dirty motherfucker!
Oh, that's great.
Gnome.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
To get closer to the building, would I have needed to go through the minefield?
Yes.
I would have done so to keep the group together. I'm sorry if I didn't communicate that correctly. I didn't understand until afterwards.
Gotcha. Yes, you were within...
So dex save.
Yes, go ahead and give me a dex save.
Which is... I'm going to fail. There's no way I don't. 15?
15. Not going to do it. That is 17 points of force damage.
It's a good thing I ended my turn in my own aura and gave myself 15 temporary hit points.
Nice. Okay. Boy.
That also means that Stevie and the bear and Sora also ended their turns there. Or sorry, Sora did not.
Sora has not. Stevie and the bear have, yes.
Yes.
So what
So
do I
that
get again?
is, you get 12 temporary hit points,
Thank God.
and your bear also gets 12.
Oh boy. Okay.
Look at
First of
us
all,
sticking up for characters we just randomly chose out of a hat.
oops. We're going to see if he's able to sort of reload his big spray, which
And
he
mine,
does
he's
not.
prone.
Phrasing.
Reload his big spray.
Honestly, you did it on purpose. Why else would you say that?
Which he does not. It's battle, it's distracting. There's a lot going on. Performance issues, not uncommon, especially in the apocalypse. Goodness gracious. He does stand up and is going to use his bonus action to command Cesar to attack. Cesar is going to okay, so that's not, this is a modified Cesar. Let me look at the actual Steel Defender. He is going to, Caesar's just going to go and try to Sparta kick the bear.
My baby boy is
Animal on animal violence.
is what Steven yells as this goes on.
Okay. His spell attack modifier to hit. And then 1d8 plus proficiency bonus if it does. It's a plus 8. So that's a 17 to hit the bear.
That is exactly its AC.
So that's 10 points of force damage against the bear. And it's almost like when superheroes kick a car and it just sort of like and just like skids across the floor. The bear sort of skids a little bit.
Am I skidding with him?
Yeah, it's just a little bit. You just sort of shift ever so slightly. Nothing mechanical, just a little bit of flavor. And Caesar just like as he's looking at you and just staring you down. And oh boy, we don't like this. You're right up in his face. Eye Patch is gonna use an attack, and he's gonna pull out a little grenade, throw it in your face. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Stevian, and from your bear.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. That's an 8 from Stevian, so I doubt that's going to be good.
Oh, I should have done this first. Oh well.
And that's a 15 from the bear.
15 is gonna just miss, or just
His name
fail,
is
I should say.
Barry.
And you're both stunned, like a stunning strike. As
Like the condition stuff?
yes, condition stunned. Second attack for Ivor. Let me
Wait, it
look
was
at
only stunning, it was no damage?
correct. No damage. It's sort of like a flashbang, just stunned. Automatically fail strength and dex. Oh boy. Wouldn't it have been great if I had my spray and pray back? Attack rolls against you have advantage. Okay. So, second attack, he's going to, with advantage this time, going to go for it. And since he has advantage, he's going to sharpshooter. That's not great. Not great at all. Plus 6, 16 to hit.
For
Stevian?
Steven, that's a miss.
Miss. Eesh. Unleash Incarnation. Regular hit. Third one. Go ahead and give me a shot at Stevie and Ivor. You have advantage.
I have advantage. Okay. Ooh, 27 to hit.
Miss.
Damn!
It's one of my
Okay, how much-
favorite jokes.
How much damage is this?
Ooh, 27 points of damage.
Oh my god, I'm at 1.
Really?
It popped
Oh,
wait, are you at 1 or did it pop?
Oh
to
no,
death
wait,
row?
I'm not. I forgot. I had those 10 hit points. So I'm at 13.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
okay. That's cool. Wow, this is wild.
You scared me, dude.
I'm killing a character I just got on the spot. I don't care as much for what.
Boy, what does what does
Every
Ivor
character
do
matters.
here?
Come on.
He's going to. Boy. That was his last Unleash incarnation. He already had you, so he didn't have to re-summon you. Occupies its space. He's going to.
He's bonus action already too.
He did to command Cesar. Dang, because he thought he was good. Mental command the Echo to move 30 feet. No action required. Excellent. He is going to retreat, and he's going to command you to block the gap. Block the doorway. Stand in the doorway. As he's retreating, and
I can't take reaction. Shit.
Exactly. He and Cesar are retreating. And then he has Ivor Echo stand in front of the closed door.
When is the stun condition end for this, by the way?
What's that?
When does this stun condition end?
Just until the end of his next turn.
Oh shit! Fuck. Okay, so I can't do anything.
So, back to the top. Sora. There is this flash of light. What are you doing?
So I was going to try to break through the door or open it, whichever is easier, and go in swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. You just sort of give it a good kick, and it just falls in. Ivor is the only one there, with his gun ready to go. Instinctively, Ivor, you just aim it at Sora as she explodes in, and Stevian and the bear are just sort of like.
And great sword number 1 is a 17 to hit.
17. I just double checked. The Echo has an AC of 18 because I'm using Ivor's stat block. So just you, Ivor, you parry it off the gun, ever so slightly, and just barely shaving it.
Yeah, so like usually with a rifle, you just move the barrel. Yep.
Yep. Just
Standing firm.
parrying.
So I'm going to release a breath weapon. Lightning.
Ooh.
So it's a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Well, even on a success, you're still going to take at least 1 damage. So, poof, down he go. Just, Ivor is gone. And again, reappears after another 5 seconds, just sort of like on the ground with Gawain and Ned like freaking out in front of him.
I don't know if my
Stop
heart can take
doing
this
that!
anymore, Ivor. Stop it.
Now, for the love of God, I pray that I can sit down this time. I'm sorry about that. It's just how it works. You've seen me do it. It's just the way. But yeah. I'll get used to it. I'm sure my echoes have gotten used to it. Can I please have a glass of water?
Why can't anyone in this party be normal?
This adventure continues, but we don't have to continue to role play it since we could do this all night. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
Nedro, good idea. Thank you.
So, as Eye Patch continues to figure himself out. Maybe he gets away. We'll see next time on Adventures in Bossing Say. Excuse me. Let's have Gawain and Ned. Let's have everybody roll a d20.
17.
3.
Stevian.
No, he muted
We're
himself
still-
because of the wee woos.
Oh, he did?
Why am I
Yeah.
got a nat 20. Why am I getting nat 20s when it doesn't matter to my character?
The dice tell a story.
Anytime I need to hit or dodge something, happen.
Nope. This is when it matters, apparently. So, Ned. Now that Ivor's back.
One
Okay.
moment.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take a minute. Well, that was fun, guys.
Yeah.
That was
I'm so
very
glad we
fun.
got villains. That was great.
Yeah. Next time I have a game that I need to start at level 1, I'm starting with
Sorry
Sora.
Nice. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Okay. So, as Ivor seems to be okay for the moment, he hasn't gotten resummoned, or perhaps Eye Patch got a different echo this time.
Ned's poking him though. Just, you sure you're back this time?
Ivor just takes a second, and no, I think I'm back. He summoned me twice. I think he's done with me.
How violent was it that you got summoned twice in 10 seconds?
It's a long story, and he will tell what happened.
That guy with the bear sounds like a real asshole. Keeping in mind, as far as Ned knows, the other Ivor wasn't evil.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as far as Ivor knows, technically, he was just
Eye Patch
helping
was
another
just-
Ivor.
Exactly. Eye Patch was just brutal. He didn't. That doesn't mean that he was a terrible guy. He didn't stick around long enough to hear the other side.
But that Taco Bell. Yep. Okay.
No,
So
not actually. I got Indian food and there's garlic naan.
Ooh, that's a good. So, Steven, if you will allow, because I was helping Eye Patch set up the detonators, could I have learned that, or maybe even the paralyzing grenade, or is that
give
too much
me-
information?
So you did say you get some information when he goes.
I certainly did. Give
And
me
if he doesn't, you don't give it to me, you can learn how to build it.
an intelligence check.
I get on die. Dissipation is killing me.
That's a damn good start.
It's a +4.
It's a +4,
Yeah.
so 23.
All right, 23. The stun grenades. You never thought about it before, but they seem simple enough in design. And effectively, they would be a non-damaging version of the monk's stunning strike. Con save against your spell save DC. Takes an attack to throw them at your target. It is single target, or in this case, since mounted, it's the one blast in like anyone in like a 5-foot square. and has a thrown range 2060. Or not 2060 because it's, we'll say within, we'll work the mechanics out when you build it.
Okay.
Does he get like a number of them, or like?
He knows this. He knows the schematics for it. So during downtime, he can build it no problem.
But like, would he have to build it every night? Is what I'm asking, because it's like they're like ammo. I mean,
Oh yeah,
is it that kind of situation?
yes, yes. It is a consumable ammunition.
How many can he make?
That is what we'll roll for when he goes down to when he goes in to make it. Minimum of 1 every time you attempt it, because you know the process. Potentially more.
Good. Can he give it to other people to throw?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
We're gonna pull out some. That was a bad idea. We're gonna pull out some shenanigans.
This is what happens.
Can
I make
Caesar
up cool
throw
stuff,
them?
and you guys turn it against it. What was that?
Can Caesar throw them?
Of course. Catapult them.
So you could bonus action chuck a grenade, essentially, by commanding it.
Caesar.
So he can hit windows from range now.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, stun the fuck out of that grenade. Fucking window.
The window shatters and then just freezes in place in like a bunch of shards for like 6 seconds before it continues to shatter and fall. Okay. But yeah. So Ned. Excuse me, what do you find yourself up to?
A way less cool adventure, but one in just confining some information.
Mm-hmm.
As Ned sees Ivor fully recovering and literally sees his face come up with the light bulb idea of how to make those grenades. I was gonna be like, well, I guess if we're gonna have to wait for Riss to be back anyway, I'm gonna go figure something out that's been bothering me. And he'll pull out the scroll that Vasalisa gave him before they knew that they are in fact a hag. So I know this thing can help us get back, and I'm speaking to you too. I know this thing can help us get back Yana, but when Riss and I were reading all about hags, one of the things we kept coming across is any supposed gift they give you comes with a consequence or some kind of gotcha. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out or find someone who can. I'm assuming that either Riss or I have like read this scroll before or like attempted to read the contents, and at no point were we able to tell like how the spell works or what it would require apart from, if it requires any kind of esoteric component like someone's life or any other kind of thing, or if there's a curse attached to it.
Gotcha. A plain reading, initial pass. Nothing is immediately obvious, but your suspicion is up, and there has to be something. There's no life force required as a material component of casting it or anything like that. Nor is there an obvious this happens to the caster as penalty for XYZ.
Or recipient.
Or nothing obvious upon reading the ritual. But there has to be something here, right? There's always a catch and then a catch and then a catch with a hag. There has to be something here.
We'd
smell it.
Okay. So that'll be my instincts would normally get me to get Danica to find me someone, but I think Lady Walker might be my best option here. And if Gawain and Ivor feel like joining, they can do so while I head to Lady Walker's abode, and hopefully she'll see me.
I'll go with. Gawain made muffins this morning, so he's just gonna pack up a little basket of muffins and then just wrap them up to keep them a little warm.
Ned will grab one before you pack it and eat it on the way. It is actually his breakfast since he said we woke up to this.
Yeah, there's food for everyone.
Yeah, I think Ivor would probably grab one and have Cesar help walk along the way.
I just take the little bundle and put it in have a little slack on it and put it in Orion's mouth to carry. So he's just this armored lion prancing with a little mouthful of muffins.
This makes me happy.
That reminds me. I'm sorry if anyone has seen or remembers Zoids. I just remember the girl, with her giant mech, just with a giant shopping handbasket, just trotting back.
Okay.
Wild. Insane. We love it. Okay. So yes. You head off to, remembering that Lady Walker has said to, she wants to conduct business in the town hall, rather than her personal place of residence. You head to the center of town. As you walk into town hall, there's a number of guards who notice and sort of clock you, and as you step in and then recognize you. A sergeant approaches and greets you. What can I do for you? What brings you back to the town hall today?
I actually wanted to meet with Lady Walker. I have a pretty important question for her, and I think she may be the only person in town who can answer it.
Well, she is the burgomaster, so there's a lot of things that only she can answer in town. I will see what she has available in her schedule for today. Wait here. And he hustles off. Returning several minutes later, she would be happy to see you. I can bring you back.
Perfect.
Escorts you back, drops you off, and Lady Walker is sort of going through. She has a couple of loose bits of parchment that she's looking at. Sort of adjusts a set of readers. Mm-hmm. And she puts the pages down with a rustle and just sort of takes her glasses off. Please come distract me from all of this drudgery. It is...
Gawain goes into the puzzle box of holding and pulls out some very strong tea, because I don't think there's really coffee in Barovia. Why would there be?
Yeah. Tea is a much more natural option.
If you need someone need someone to light it, I can sorceress burst it with fire.
That's great.
Thank you. And I will put that in front and just give her a muffin. Also, as I was walking through City Hall, every employee or just rando person that I saw, I'm just handing muffins out.
Aw.
That's great.
Fucking okay. You get a muffin. You get a muffin.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a muffin.
Muffin time.
Rubs the bridge of her nose.
And just like that, we have ourselves a muffin man.
A muffin man. The Muffin Man?
Muffin Man.
I think we know the Muffin Man.
It's Sir Gawain Muffin Man alias.
Whose name is Sir Gawain. That makes me happy. That's great.
Oh. Actually, I have a question. We did... Actually, before I say that, Richard, read your messages. I just sent you one.
Hmm.
Okay. Never mind. Disregard me.
Okay.
So
I'll
Lady
bring it up when
Walker-
we have a breaking conversation.
So, Lady Walker, I am always glad to interrupt bureaucracy. Uh, I had a question for you. Now, really quick, have we ever told her what happened to Yana?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
I could
I
be
think I
wrong because
did.
you guys give her updates.
I think I did.
Yeah, in your letter, I think
Mhm.
you mentioned
Okay.
it.
Okay. So as Gawain may have informed you before, our friend Yana is currently being held by that asshole Strahd. As far as we can tell, it's some kind of magical binding. And we came across this. And I'll hand her the scroll. It was given to us by what we later found out was a hag. But she told us that it could break whatever binding Hayana has on her. And all it would take was a spellcaster of a certain amount of power. I feel like either Riss or I could potentially achieve casting this spell. My issue is hags don't really give anything that only has positive effects. I can't make heads or tails about what cost this would have. And I was hoping with your esoteric knowledge, giving her a knowing look because we saw that magic circle in her basement and know she casts other spells. Maybe you could figure out what, if anything, casting this spell will do.
Well, this muffin is phenomenal, by the way. I'm sorry, I've just been listening, and it's been. I've heard everything you said, and I'm fully with you. But absolutely, where did you get this recipe?
Find
He
out in the
goes,
Wayne's chapter.
Perfect. As she continues on. Do you mean the hag to the south, in the swamp?
That's correct, right? She's in the south, or was.
Yeah, she was.
Yep, she certainly was there.
All right. Yes. So. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I looked. There's nothing obvious. It's not a. It's for a hag ritual. It's just surprisingly tame. But I doubt that will survive under closer inspection. I agree. Okay. So, and she begins to just sort of think out loud, breaking it down. Excuse me. Reading over the different parts and saying, okay, so there's. And almost like a musician, sort of like playing out like a couple of notes to see if he can figure out exactly where, like, what he's listening to is, like what the notes are, and like recognize it. She sort of like sparks a couple of arcane glyphs and motes as she's reading, just to make sure that she's following the understanding of what it is. Okay, and then this, the roll for, give her a roll. That's a very good roll.
Reading between the lines.
She, okay, I think I found something. And she puts the scroll on the table and flips, or the scroll on the table and flips it around and pulls it out. And she says, All right, so this bit right here, this is the part that targets the original cursed individual, yes? This is the part that frees them,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't free them. It it frees them, but it leaves the curse intact. Because it's not breaking anything, it's a substitution. I can't, it's the spell won't work as a, it's almost like a, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it almost sounds like you have been sold a dispel curse sort of ritual. Yes, that is how she marketed it to you, as a ends the curse and breaks the binds and all of that.
Something like that, yes.
Oh, that's not what she gave you. It is. This is. And other eyes would not have noticed this. This spell will free its target, but replace them with its caster.
So, if I were to cast this on Yana, then I would instead be bound and Yana would be free.
Correct. It's quite an insidious little piece of magic. It's almost impossible to tell unless you know what you're looking for. It's not expressly stated. I had to crawl over the runes in order to actually figure out what was going on here. It read wrong. It didn't feel right as I was reading it, but it and then as you break it down and you really isolate each component, you realize that the spell won't bind you, but you will be unable to escape the vacuum that is created by the removal of the cursed target. So someone has to step in to fill that void, and you are the caster would be the only one who is psychically close enough in order to take their place.
That bitch, Nedro says,
Yes.
while taking a bite of his muffin. I was eating the naan, so it made sense.
Mm-hmm. I was eating my snacks, and I was just like, "This is gonna be the muffin."
And there's no way around this or any way to alter this scroll.
I suppose anything's possible. It's not impossible. I'll put it that way. It would be some pretty intense runecraft.
If I were to estimate what level of spellcaster Lady Walker is, what would I arrive at?
Give me
Could she cast this spell if she wanted to?
either Arcana or Insight, whichever you prefer.
Watch me not roll these d20s, these 20s now.
Use the power of the muffin.
I fucking told you, I got an 11.
Let me see. Walkner House. Okay. $11. She's done a fair amount of magic, more than just like a level 1 spell here and there. This is pretty intense, so it's a toss-up.
Mm-hmm. Is there any chance, I know Nedro cannot cast it, but that he would be aware of the simulacrum spell?
Odds or evens?
Even.
Yeah, you've heard of it.
let's say, for example, I'm speaking to her. We have someone who can cast a spell, but they aren't necessarily a person, but they are capable of casting it. What would happen then? I know there's like spells out there that allow people to make copies of themselves. Maybe if a copy of someone could cast it, that would work.
I suppose. I mean, if they're able to conjure up the manipulation of the weave, I suspect they would be
Granted, that's a very high-level spell.
Yeah, I mean, that's not anything that I am able to do myself. The copying replication, that the magic that is.
That might be more difficult, or if we can somehow get some kind of construct. If I were to get a construct and I could somehow figure out a way to cast a spell through that, what would happen?
Like I said, if it can conjure enough magical energy to manipulate the weave in the way that spell casting is done, is a little beyond my area of expertise.
Well, do you know whose area of expertise it would be that I can speak to? I've heard the name Van Richten thrown out a lot, but I haven't yet to meet him.
Van Richten, he's a myth.
Well, unless you have anyone better in mind, the myth might be the only person who can help.
Well, there is a researcher at the library. He's a little bit of a interesting person, but he knows his stuff and he is very well versed. Alexei, he might be able to take a look at this and see something for you.
Damn it, I don't have wrists here to flirt with him. All right. I cast this guy's self and make myself look like wrist. I don't have it. I'm sorry.
That would be amazing. Oh my god.
I wish I had the spell now.
Oh, that would be amazing. Does anybody else have disguise self?
No.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This is why I should take more spells that are just for fun like that.
Oh boy, that would be fantastic. Okay. I mean, if you wish, I don't know, is this your only copy? If you want to leave it with me, I could take a look at this evening overnight. See what I can see, if there's anything that I can see about making some subtle tweaks and slight alterations that might give you a much more, as advertised on the box, effect.
Well, of course, I would really appreciate that. I could have Alexei as a plan B, especially when Riss is back.
Oh, so you know him as well. Okay. Very well.
Yes, but I get the feeling waiting for Riss to come back will have much better results.
Huh. Okay, very well. Well then, yes, I will take a look at this evening. Or if I feel like ripping up this absolutely terrible budget. I don't understand how they... I don't know what I don't know what Valakovich was thinking. You can't run... Whatever. Anyway. If I'm about to pull my hair out, I might look at this as a distraction, but other than that, I will take a look at this evening, and I will reach out to our mutual contact with an update first thing tomorrow morning.
I appreciate that very much. If there's anything I can do to thank you, let me know.
Of course.
And thus my very pointed mission ends. Less entertainment and more like actual shit.
Yeah, that's true. She rolls up the oh, that's where it went. She rolls up the scroll of beauty of broken bond vows, slides it back in the case and closes it, sets it on her desk, and just sort of like groans internally before like gathering up the parchment that she was looking at, putting her readers back on, and like leaning back in her chair and beginning to shuffle through it again. Yeah, with that, we will head on to another little vignette here in just a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Let's do 15. We'll reconvene here about 25 after. Just to see how the rest of this plays out. Everybody else gets a little time in the spotlight as well. Yeah, we'll figure this out. Cool. So, thanks for sticking with us, those of you who are watching us live. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So just as I'm glad everybody stuck around. Quick recap. So far we explored what it looks like when Ivor is summoned as an echo. Excuse me. And Ned has begun to commission some investigation into the devious nature of anything dealing with hags, coming from hags, the whole nine. Going to Lady Wachter and exploring and seeing, hey, what's going on here? There's got to be something, right? She did indeed confirm there was something going on here, and rather than just shattering the bonds of this curse, it would have released the target at the expense of the caster, which is just the most hack shit ever. Of, oh, you want to free somebody? All right, you can take their place. Wait. Yeah. So Lady Wachter volunteered to crawl over the runes a little bit, do some wizard nonsense, and see if there was anything that she could do to help you get a little bit more of what's advertised on the box versus what's actually going to happen if you cast this spell as is. Yeah, there are a couple of irons in the fire of like, okay, could we get something or someone we don't care about to cast this spell for us? Would that work? Who can say? Lady Wachter, capable and competent as she is a little bit out of her depth when talking about magic at this high level, at least talking about it. So she was of limited use with this conversation, but she will give a crack at it overnight and let you guys know tomorrow morning what she finds.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to end with Sarah and potentially something with Yana. So let's do come to Gawain's vignette as you guys are leaving the town hall, and over the next couple of hours you guys each go your own way and stock up on supplies, take care of business, enjoy the solitude and the quiet in some parks or whatever it is that you guys like to do. Yes.
I was working on the spell scroll for Riss. I had 4 hours in before. If I start working on it now, unless I'm needed for whatever story Gawain does, how many hours would you allow me to add to it?
You can finish it today if you, as long as you aren't needed for anything else.
Well, no. It takes 40 hours total. Remember, that's why.
4D. That's right. I thought it was 4 more for whatever reason because I know that other people.
No. I've already put 4 in out of 40.
Yes. I'll give you another half day of 4 hours.
So,
although
cool.
This was I'll say another half day of 4 hours.
Thank you. Okay. Continue.
All right. Yeah. So Gawain. Yes. I'm sorry, Ivor.
Sorry. Can I get started on some stun grenades?
Same as you. Now, Ivor, you are at 4 of 8 hours on a shield scroll currently. Or you can get started on some stun grenades.
No, I'm going to finish that up.
Okay.
I'll put some time into that.
You can finish the shield scroll today. That should be fine.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Yay.
And then stun grenades will be the next item on the list, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I promise that brings us to Gawain.
Yes. Gawain is trying to find the best chef in Vallaki that he can train under and learn, basically just go in through a crash course, like explaining that he knows like a lot of the basics and he wants to learn like he just wants to master those and maybe expand on that afterwards. But that's his goal.
Oh, I love him.
And he takes out his whenever actually no, he'll do that when he finds the instructor. Le chef.
Le chef. Give me a charisma investigation.
Oh, bless you, sir.
So if you're proficient in investigation, you can add your proficiency bonus. Otherwise, this is a charisma check.
This is the charisma check.
Okay.
That's a natural 20 for 25.
You find someone who is so you talk to, you go through a couple of circles, and first you talk to Danica, who points you in a direction, and you follow this rabbit hole a little bit, talking to people and going to talking to this person, talking to this person, talking to this person. Eventually you find yourself in a back alley, a little hole in the wall nothing here in Vallaki. It's over to the northwest of the city, so it's above the Kresk refugees, but in the actual Vallaki establishments there, a little bit north of the currently rebuilding church. And in a little dead-end alleyway, with the sun beating down from above as a full midday, you are looking at like I said, a little hole in the wall shop where there's a couple of people here. And but not a ton of traffic. And the individual who cooks here also resides in the back. So it's sort of like a restaurant front to a home. And he is referred to only as the chef. He doesn't have a name. He's almost a mythical figure is what it feels like in what you're gathering. Excuse me. There's a lot. He's shrouded in a lot of mystery. You know it's not. No, it's not a Skyrim reference. And there's two people as you step in. It's dark inside. It's relatively low light. There's two people in that seem to be. It's like a bar in the middle of the day when it just opens and there's only like 2 or 3 people there. It's very low traffic time. But is there a high traffic time? This place is so hard to find. And there is a teenage girl who's sort of waiting tables, and she just sort of looks at you and just sort of looks you up and down, like disapprovingly, and she says, "You can sit whatever you want. I'll be right over."
Oh, thank you very much. Gawain will go sit down, probably like at the bar if they have one.
There's a very small. It's very much a makeshift bar. It's a table that's been elevated and sort of like cut down the middle and like unfolded. So it's a table that has been converted into a bar and has some extra legs like tacked on to hold it up. And then there's like a couple of planks of wood that block your feet from swinging behind the bar underneath. It's real jank.
I do not sit down because I will absolutely break the fucking furniture.
That makes me happy. Okay.
Um, Gawain, because what time is it currently?
Midday.
Yeah, Gawain's 10 feet tall.
Yeah, he is.
He weighs about 400 pounds currently.
My man is massive.
Sorry, 600 pounds currently. He is just fucking beefcake for days. He is wearing his armor, but I think if you'll allow, earlier that morning, right before we headed out, Gawain was going to have a conversation with Ivor.
Okay.
And I promise it ties in a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I'm assuming you're sitting there like tinkering with your rifle or something, Ivor, like in the morning.
When we first wake up, after I get yoinked, and we head out.
Like right before we head out.
Right before we head out. Okay. Yes. I'm tinkering with my rifle and assuring Cesar I'm okay, and just trying to compose myself. And I look up and I'm like, "No, Gawain, what do you need? Anything?"
Well, I was going to ask the same question of you, but I mean, I always want to know that answer to that question. But I was wondering, is there anything you can do? Because if I'm not on Orion, us getting the jump on people has proven difficult, might be the best word. Nigh
Something about your armor.
impossible. It provides really good protection, but even the padding we put in doesn't quite dampen.
And I'm sure
I think my greaves are what makes the most noise, just from my thighs clacking together.
I might be able to help you with that, if need be.
I don't think it'll come up in our meeting with Lady Wachter, but I just wanted to see if there's anything you could potentially do.
If you're willing to leave your armor here with me, and find some suitable clothing along the way, or I'm sure you have some.
I do
I'll
have
see what
clothing
I
that
can do.
isn't. I do have clothing that isn't armor. I promise.
Wait, does he?
He does. He pulls out of the puzzle box of holding a set of white vestments that he showed up in the alley in. That have just a solar, like a little sun symbol on them. It's very the color scheme is very like Starlight from The Boys.
Hmm. Wait, which version? Like the slutty version Vaultmaker wear, or
No,
the
no,
version?
OG.
Oh, that's disappointing.
He's our star boy. Don't let him be slutty.
Hey,
I
don't
mean,
limit my character, Richard.
if his cheeks are going to be clapping, they might as well be, showing and just hanging out, right?
The clap of my ass cheeks keep alerting the guards.
That's exactly what he said.
I keep trying to find the Zavala meme. The clap of my ass cheeks has awoken the hive. And I can't. Anyway.
But yeah, Ivor, before we leave, uses one of his infusions to make the boots of Elvenkind.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
And wait, so yeah, I guess Gawain had his armor because he was
So
clunking
instead
through
of
the.
mayonnaise,
Will I have this every day, or will this be something you kind of like do as needed?
As
Because
needed.
I don't think I need it every day.
Not every day, but just a proof of concept. I will
Okay.
need to prepare it when necessary.
Okay.
And just as a special treat, because you care about us so much, please look after her. And he'll open up his coat just a little bit. Make sure she gets some good fresh air. I'm sure she'll be safe with you.
and they were roommates, guys.
Oh my gosh, they were roommates.
And in Ivor's hand is a sugar glider that also has bat wings. White fur, black wings. Her name is Calcary.
Wait, your robot has fur? That's
Yes.
creepy as fuck, dude. I love it.
It's just
That was-
textured.
That was Dalton. Sorry, that was not Gawain.
I know.
That was just
Is this just a Furby with wings? Is this all this is?
it's motion
Technically.
activated too.
Mm-hmm.
Is this his like item infusion thing?
This is another infusion, yes.
Homunculus servant.
Oh. Which is if the UA goes through, it's gonna be a spell now instead of a infusion.
Ooh.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot Ned keeps up with Artificer more than I do.
I keep with
He gives up with
all
the-
the class shit.
Way more than I think most of us do.
I have no life, guys. That's why.
It's D&D. Okay, so you got your boots for the time. Calcary's hanging with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So I guess I was not clunking as hard through the halls. I was actually just kind of moving, just kind of very quietly. Well, as quietly as you can in armor, but the boots weren't making any fucking noise.
Mhm. Sort of bringing you back down to a moderate, regular amount of noise that people make as they move. It's just in different places. It's just what makes it feel weird.
Yeah, I'm just standing. Actually, I want to take the armor off and put it in the puzzle box, and just be in my white vestments. Closest thing he has to a chef coat. And he's just going to patiently wait for the chef.
All right, so this this teenage girl who seems to be waiting on tables comes around to you eventually. What can I get you?
Well, I've been led to believe that this establishment has one of the more renowned chefs in Vallaki, and I'm eager to, well, satiate my hunger for food and for knowledge.
She sort of just like blows her bangs a little bit off to the side, just blown straight up over her face. All right, 1 second, and she turns and heads around through like a bead curtain almost, and just shouts, "Dad! Dad! So, come out and talk to this guy. I don't know what he wants." And this, oh my goodness gracious, this short little, if anyone's going to be married to a babushka, it's going to be this guy. Looking little man just comes. He's like an Eastern European version of the old man from Up. And he just sort of like waddles his way out. He's not super thick, but he is very wide and very short. So he waddles a little bit as he walks. And his eyes are super squinted. And he's like, there's got to be no way he can see a thing around him. And he just sort of like climbs up and sits on a bar stool to
Gawain
be.
will get down. He'll go down to a knee just so he's at like a respectable height, so he's not towering over this man.
And he just sort of like squints at you. No, that's great. No, but he squints at you and just like grabs your face and just sort of like and opens your eyes. Sort of looks up your nose a little bit, looks at your teeth, checks your gums, and just sort of gives you a pat on the cheek, and he spins in the on the bar stool, and just looks at who's like, really, this is his daughter? All right. And he just says, "The," and he waves his hand and just sort of like, ooh, just slips off the stool in a remarkable show of grace for this ancient creature, and just sort of like waddles back into the kitchen, and the teenager looks at you and says, "All right, you can head back. I don't know what he's going to do. Don't ask me."
Okay, thank you very much. Would you like a muffin? I baked these fresh this morning.
Sure.
Hands her a muffin.
He just sort of starts munching it absently, and you see the look on her face of surprise of like, oh shoot, this is actually kind of good. From what she was expecting to just be like, just like throwing popcorn back or something, but this she was like, oh, and then she glances back through the bead curtains as it sort of like clatters against itself, with a I wonder how he'll do sort of like mentality and expression going on. And the old man speaks in a language you don't know. Give me an insight check.
It's Italian.
That's a dialect of Draconic, right?
Back in the old country.
All right, insight.
Yes, please.
21.
21. You don't understand. He doesn't speak a lick of common. You're not sure what this language is, but you almost sort of panic for a second, and you're like, okay, and just like read his body language. And he sort of chuckles to himself as he continues to gather ingredients, and you don't exchange a single word, and yet he teaches you so much. You just watch his technique, you watch his the care with which he crafts and like whips with his whisk, and it's it's like watching an artist at work. Little things that you never knew were a part of the cooking experience, your eyes are open to, and you're like, I've been living a lie. How could I have, like, of course, it's all about this, that, and the other thing. But it's not a technical thing. It's a emotional experience. There is a connection. I have to forge a relationship with the dish. And understand in this sacred way, almost like the Native Americans, like, honor the buffalo by using all of it. You have to honor the dish by preparing it properly and then consuming it and enjoying it. And there's a reverence, a quiet reverence to the way the way that the chef cooks. And at the end, he's left with a beautiful and yet simple dish. And it's just a little shepherd's pie, and he sort of scoops it out and just whoop right in your mouth. It's piping hot. So that's a little uncomfortable. He could have at least given you a chance to blow on it a second. But just whoop right in it goes. And it borders on a religious experience. There's depth, there's notes, there's just you feel the process he's gone through. Give me a wisdom check to see how much of this you can absorb.
Gawain, I think the revelation he has is as he's watching this man, who has no idea what the fuck Gawain is saying in this moment, but he just realizes a good dish isn't just the sum of its parts. It's not the sum of its parts. You can build and build and build in dimension. And he's just like, his brain is working overtime. He's probably I'm going to take like 2 points of psychic damage just because. But yeah, you said wisdom check?
Yes, please.
I also want everybody to pay attention. Gawain's insight check was so good that he learned about Native Americans.
He learned about.
Oh fuck! Oh, okay.
You did say that, man.
I'm gonna use my D12 inspiration that I got from storytelling. Just because that's really good. That's 19 plus 9 on the die, 20, 30.
30, yeah, absolutely. You definitely get the proficiency. You are now proficient with chef's tools, chef's utensils in the kitchen for sure. And I will also say, with this, whenever you prepare a meal, it functions like a good berry. You effectively have the good berry spell wrapped up into there, with it restoring a hit point and it providing sustenance, as people definitely have like leftovers that they can pick at throughout the day. At one point, you're describing all of this, and the chef just chuckles and just shushes you. He's like, shh. As you're just like revelation after revelation, and it's like flying as Doctor Strange through all of this mindscape and everything. It is surreal. That is precisely the experience that I was trying to describe.
Can we say just for canon, can we say that it wasn't shepherd's pie and that it was in fact ratatouille?
Ah, yes, that's great. Yes, yes, yes.
Just because honestly, out of the few dishes I had in culinary school that like truly blew my mind by like just knocking my socks off, ratatouille was one of them. Specifically the Thomas Keller version that they use in the film, which is
Oh,
actually
okay.
confibialdi is the technical name. It's not ratatouille, but
Okay.
it's so close to it that they just call it ratatouille.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So so just a little bit of a ratatouille, a little bit of meats, a little bit of all kinds of stuff added into that, and yeah, absolutely.
Gawain just I think he leaves incredibly late. Not I leave when he asks me to leave, or when it seems like I have like this is the best it was gonna get. He's good, food's done, we're cleaned up. I'll probably head out whenever that is.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Um, he sort of like ushers you out. Um, and so later in the evening, what about dinner time, he ushers you out of the kitchen, and just sort of like over and into a table where he makes you a meal himself, and it is, and we'll say this is where the shepherd's pie comes in, and it's simple and elegant and artistry.
The mash is perfect. It's not gluey or gloppy, just perfectly crushed. I feel like this is the only dude in Vallaki or maybe Barovia who has like a couple of actual kitchen utensils. So he's got like a ricer so you can actually properly do mashed potatoes. Because it's not that hard. It's just a little thing with holes that you just shove potatoes through and just compress it. That's it.
Okay.
Like Ivor could make that shit in his sleep.
Why'd you mention Ivor specifically?
He said,
Because if I could look at it, it's a very simple machine, but the chef is probably, well, now one of the probably only two people that know how to make it work properly.
These are for sure handmade tools.
And it makes it all the more funny that I gave Calgary to Gawain. So Calgary was in the whole scene with this.
Calgary's sitting there looking at the tools, silently judging, saying, Ivor could make it better.
That's funny. But yeah, I head out after dinner, and if I have any time left in the day, I'll try to knock out like maybe an hour or two of the Feinstein scroll I was working on.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get another hour on that.
Sweet.
All right. And now this brings us to you, Sarah.
Goody, goody.
You have your vignette that you fully at your disposal. Whatever story you'd like to tell. Yeah. So what's on your mind there?
Basically looking to see what's been going on with Yana over the last couple weeks.
What has been going on with Yana?
I'll let you set that scene.
So, we're gonna rewind all the way back to that night that Yana gave herself up for the party and remained behind so that everyone else could leave. After getting just absolutely rocked by Strahd and the brides, and it just was a bad fight, and only by the sacrifice of Yana did everybody make it out alive. And there is there are a few days where Strahd definitely toys with you. He one evening has a fine dress sent up to your room with a accompanying message from Rahadin that you are to join us for dinner. If you would make yourself ready, please. And you are basically eye candy for him, or not eye candy, arm candy for him. Um, it's fun to play with, like to admire the trophy for a couple of days. Um, are you doing any exploring? What are you doing over these couple of days
Um,
while Strahd is acclimating and getting used to you?
I guess it'll depend on how much freedom I'm allowed. Whether I'm allowed to just like explore at will, or if I'm kept on a leash, basically.
Mm, as tempting as it is to put you on a leash, figuratively and literally, um,
It's not that kind of show.
it's not that kind of show. Also, not that kind of dog. But Strahd does not, either in his confidence or some might say arrogance, he doesn't deem it necessary to place any restrictions on you. You will be here forever, for the rest of your life. No need to lock you in a cage. In a cage.
Hmm.
So yeah, the castle is at your disposal.
Okay. So yeah, I'll probably definitely spend some time wandering the halls, kind of acclimating myself to my surroundings. Um, Probably pick out a room that is as far away from everything as possible to serve as my own chambers. Um, Even if it's the servants' quarters way back at the back side of the house. Um, but I'll definitely be spending a lot of time in that library as well.
Okay.
Be
Are you looking
reading,
for anything in particular?
looking for history and lore about the various clans and tribes, basically like Keepers of the Fang, Keepers of the Feather, others that may have come before them, um, the Order of the Silver Dragon, uh, lore about the Fanes, pretty much
Gotcha.
anything I can find, as well as possible locations for where the wolf den is.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a general investigation check. See how your researching goes.
Okay, let's see. 24.
24. All right, we're going to start at the top. You said that you are looking for information on Fang, Keepers of Feather, and other orders before them.
Yes.
Strahd's library doesn't have much, but it does have a couple of eyewitness accounts. One that looks suspiciously like Strahd's own hand, outlining the... Hold on, I got this here. Okay. Where did I put them? The Old Guard is what they are referred to as a whole. Where did I put it? I can never remember what part of the document this is in. There we are. Okay. I don't know why that's not. Whatever. That's fine. Oh, the Old Guard, their own sub thing. That's right. Okay, so the Old Guard are orders of blood hunters, long established in Barovia. Seem to have been derivations of the of blood magic that has long existed in this area, both before and after the explosion of vampirism here in the valley. There are... Okay. There were several different orders. There were the Slayers, there were the Shapers, and there were the Dealers. Slayers were mechanically blood hunters of the Order of the Ghost Slayer. Shapers were blood hunters following the Order of the Mutant, and Dealers were those following the Order of the Profane Soul. Shapers, the Order of the Mutant, seem to have been in Kresk long ago. The Order of the Lycan, obviously, are the Keepers of the Fang, and also a small offshoot, the Keepers of the Feather, a slight derivation, with a different beast included in that strain of lycanthropy. However, the Slayers, there's not much on them. By the time this history got recorded, they were already fading and on the decline. The Shapers also did not last very long, as they continued to have their dealings and their in and out. And there is reference to the abbot in writings with the Shapers. Seem to be old enemies. But the Order of the Mutant Hunters are no longer here in Barovia. So perhaps the abbot dealt with that, or perhaps it was something else happened to them, unrelated. The Dealers, the Order of the Profane Soul, were abruptly destroyed by the champion of... by a... what is referred to as a capital C champion. And through your research, you have found that the Dealers played with fire the most of all blood hunters. And they are... they would make deals and pacts and with entities of great power that exist here in the valley in exchange for power of their own. Definitely playing with fire, definitely not definitely ill-advised in many cases, but they were a faction that people would go to who were drawn to the risk, who were drawn high risk, high reward, and the adrenaline and all of that. However, ultimately that caught up with them, and they were decimated by a champion of one of their patrons. Corrupted and turned, slaughtered just about everybody. In a sudden churn of events. And the dealers were basically wiped out. You do find a... let's see. You do see that the dealers were operating in the forests to the south of Vallaki. So if they had a headquarters or any sort of building or structure or remnants of any knowledge or any information that they had, it's likely at a compound somewhere in that cluster of trees. Okay, so we said... so we'll tie into that with the werewolf den. It's actually a pretty poorly kept secret. It's not terribly far off Lake Baratok. There's a gap between two clusters of trees, and right there along that hill, in that hill is where they are. The abbot doesn't wipe him out because he keeps him around to play his war games with. And the Keepers of the Fang don't want to wipe him out because it feels a little hypocritical. They want to try to manage the situation rather than just go in there and axe everything. And the Shapers are a little bit preoccupied with the mongrel folk, those weird half man, half beast people that you found with the abbot at the monastery in Cress when you visited. And the dealers were unconcerned with the werewolf den. So it's up there, Kresk area. That also checks out why that's where the Juggernaut, the new guy, came from, who had just turned. He came from Kresk, likely because there's a high population, a high density of werewolves in that population up there. What else did you say that you were looking for?
Looking for information about the Order of the Silver Dragon and also the Fanes.
Silver Dragon and the Fanes. Argynvost commanded some knights here long ago. The Silver Dragon, Argynvost. And they fought quite a series of battles with Strahd. Ultimately, of course, Strahd emerged victorious, ripping Argynvost apart, and his skull seemingly made its way to Vasalisa, who fashioned it into a vehicle of some kind for herself. Argynvost, they're lawful more than they are good. Obviously, they're not going to go out slaughtering people wantonly. They're not like a chaotic evil. And they aren't like a lawful evil organization, but they are a lawful organization. They are a lawful organization more than they are a good organization. It's a very cold, or it was a very cold and calculated group who struggled against Strahd for a long time before being overtaken and overcome by the sheer force of power that Strahd wields. I will also say that eyewitness accounts say that these warriors still live, despite having been slaughtered, kept alive by their sheer force of will and their hatred. Hatred and force of will for Strahd, against Strahd. Wanting to see him suffer, wanting to see him burn, wanting to see him laid low every bit as he laid them low. In their heart burns a fire of vengeance that drives them and keeps them intact, long after their form should have expired. And the Fanes. The Fanes. They are ancient beyond anything in this valley. They were forgotten long before Strahd ever came, and are remembered only in the prayer and worship of the sort of monstrous druids, mountainous druids. There are three of them: the forest, the swamp, and the mountain. And they each have a place of power here in the valley. These are, as I think I may have mentioned, ancient Fey entities, which governed these aspects of the valley before they were usurped. There is and then it tells you the location of these shrines as well. There is a shrine to the Forest Fane in the forest area south of Vallaki. Same general area as the dealer's headquarters was located. Same block of trees. The Swamp Fane has a shrine in Berez, where the river has overrun the town, and yeah, there's a shrine there, where to the, like I said, to the Swamp Fane, and the shrine to the Mountain Fane. The party knows well, but you learn is atop a hill all the way to the west, along the western border of the mists, at a place called Yesterhill, where the druids make their home and set up their encampments.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, over the couple of weeks or however long it is, I'll have done all that research and try to commit as much of it to memory as possible. I will definitely be on the constant lookout for opportunities and possibilities of dealing with dear old Papa. As far as ending him and for abusing Mom. And but aside from that, I guess we can jump back to the dinner invitation, or the arm candy invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So would I be able to do some kind of check to see if there is any kind of magic associated with the outfit provided?
Give me an Arcana check, just to see if you can spot, like, the rune work in the filigree and in the lace.
It's a 19.
19. It definitely looks like there could be runes stitched in, like black on black. Hard to see. But as you sort of go over it with a fine-tooth comb and really zoom in on all the details, it appears to be some glamour magic. Make you look a little more snatched, a little more fetching, pun intended.
Yes. So, understanding that that's possibly what is stitched into the dress, I'll go ahead and put it on and make my way towards wherever I was supposed to be going.
Gotcha. Yep, coming down the stairs, and you're escorted into the main dining hall, where Strahd rises and greets you with sort of like a kiss on the cheek. Very what's the word I'm looking for? Traditional guest of honor, almost, sort of. One might
Chivalrous
mistake it
as-
for chivalry. Yeah.
Male chauvinistic
Yes.
crap.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's exactly what's going on. And he's reveling in being in total control. As excuse me. Dinner progresses. It is lavish. It is quite the spread. Strahd eats and nobody else does, as normal. Nobody else does, because the other brides are here. They just sip their vials of blood, their glasses of blood, but otherwise, you and Strahd are the only ones who are actually eating anything. And you know that this is only vanity. He's actually hurting himself to do this in front of you and make this show.
Okay. So I will make it a point not to show any emotion whatsoever unless I see the brides getting jealous. At which point I will ham it up. But I will also make it a point to drink only water.
Okay.
Because surrounded by vampires, I'm sure there's going to be some hijinks going on there. So I stick to water. But otherwise I enjoy the food. I don't even know what to call you, to be honest. What was your reasoning for doing this? This whole captivity?
No, to you. No, you wanted it. But if you mean to your companion offering that deal in the first place, it was a test of sorts. I wanted to see if there was anyone noble enough to make the sacrifice play. Wanted to see how he would handle it, if he would just surrender himself to his fate, or if he would try to circumvent the ancient magic with some sort of sleight of hand, foolish though it may be. And I find him interesting. That artifact he carries with him seems to be fond of him, overly, in some cases. And I wish to know more about it. I wanted to understand it better and study it more.
Well, you do know the best way to find information is to ask for it.
First of all, I don't even know what to say to that. I truly don't. You know who you're dealing with.
More than most.
More than most. Yes, you do. And at this point, another figure bursts in. Sorry I'm late. I was out doing things in the garden. I lost track of time. And it is your sister. Gertruda. Who is Rahadin directs her to a seat across the table opposite to you. I hope that I didn't miss anything. And Strahd waves his... Of course not, of course not. I'll bring in another plate for a valued guest. And Rahadin goes and sees that it is done. She doesn't really acknowledge you. She does a little bit. It's not like she doesn't recognize you, but she's not trying to engage. She's not like trying to interact. It's not like a tearful reunion or anything like that.
I do have another question for you. Why do you keep my sister here?
Oh, she wanted to come.
Want or was coerced?
Me? Coerce? Far be it from me to force someone to do something against their will. No, there is no need for any trickery or underhanded scheming. She wishes to speak with, no, well, let me triple check something before I go off on this tangent. Excuse me. She was... Okay, so Strahd readdresses you. She was drawn here by stories of members of my court, shall we say. And she wished to see them herself. prove them true. She seems to enjoy it here.
You and I both know that she has no place here.
Oh, well, now don't be hasty. All have a place here in my keep. They're all are welcome. There's no need to push some away.
If you want my cooperation, you will send her away.
Oh, your cooperation with what? You forget you're in a cage. I don't need you for anything.
Even a
You're here for my
caged-
amusement.
Apparently you haven't heard that a caged animal is the most dangerous.
There she is. There she is. I have been looking forward to seeing your claws come out. When you would bare your fangs. So much like your father.
You want to see fangs and teeth? And claws? Give me time alone with dear old Papa.
I don't want you breaking my toys. If he is to be punished, I will be the one doling it out. Believe you me. Excuse me.
One way or another, Gertruda will leave this castle alive.
I suppose that way it remains to be seen. I look forward to reading that chapter as we write it together, you and I.
And whether by your hand or mine, Father will die permanently.
And he sort of looks at the brides and looks around the table at everybody. Oh, she's so intense. This is wonderful. You really are wonderful. And you really are quite lovely, my dear. I don't promise me that you'll never change.
Oh, I guarantee there will be changes. And I'll take his glass and drink it. Making sure to spill it all down my dress.
He just shakes his head in, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And continues the meal from there. Excuse me. There are a few more days, several more days, a few more dinners, and one day you're not called, and then another day you're not called, and a third, and a fourth. You're still fed, you're still taken care of, but there's no pomp, there's no circumstance, there's no mind games, there's no manipulation. Eventually, Ludmilla approaches and informs you, have you been kept up to date on anything from anyone?
Not a word.
Well, Strahd is gone. Not like gone for a walk, but gone from this valley, which should not be possible. Do you feel any different? Are you still bound here? Are you still caged?
Well, as this is the first I'm hearing of this, I've never tried to test the leaving.
It is up to you if you wish, by all means. If you are not, if you are still bound, it will not be pleasant, believe me. But I figured you deserve to know the truth of what was of the circumstance. Make of it what you will.
I appreciate that. And I'm sure you're looking forward to a good laugh when it fails.
Yeah. Not my cup of tea. I am more concerned about all of this. But if I am to be truthful, I am ready to be rid of it.
Do you not still love your husband?
It was never about love. It was about station and access and politics. I'm sure that he knows, but I have long since grown cold and tired.
Do you wish to leave him?
I think I do.
My friends and I can help.
Well, we shall see. I shall see.
If you do want the help, I ask one thing from you. Get my sister out of here. Return her home.
I'll see what I can do. And she turns and takes like a hesitant step, and then turns and looks back at you, and then continues onward. Continues away, I should say.
Okay.
And I feel like, as far as a vignette goes, it's a nice little snapshot.
I agree.
That was fun. That was really fun. I really enjoyed
that.
that. All right. So, oh boy, you got a little lore dump. You got a little interaction. You found your sister. We described why Ludmilla decided that she wanted to interact with the party a little bit more. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I like it.
But seems like a great spot to pause and pick it up next week, hopefully with a Riss in tow. So that we can either do the tome or we can continue with any number of other things. So, thank you to everyone who was joining us live and on VODs. We appreciate you very, very much. But yes, thanks for hanging out with us. And always remember, you are the dragon at the end. Excuse me, you are the legend at the end of the Dragon's Tale. Good night, everybody.